Hello and welcome to this event overview and guide for Rise of the Beasts. Today, I'll be covering everything you need to know to get all the important materials, weapons, summons, and even how to recruit the new character as well. ROTB is an event that holds many important things, and luckily, it also has a really low barrier of entry, so don't worry if you are a newer player. We have a lot of material to cover, so let's get right into it. So, the too long didn't read of ROTB is that you farm quests, you get this unique currency here, you spend this currency in the shop right here. And that's it. The newer you are to GBF and ROTB, the more stuff there will be in this shop. Unless you have a very developed grids somehow, it's extremely unlikely that you will be able to buy out the entire shop, and that's okay. ROTB is a commonly recurring event, and any of the super important items here in the shop won't disappear, and it will be there for you next time the event returns. So don't stress and chip away at it bit by bit. I'll talk more about the shop in detail later, but first, let's talk about these fights. So, to start off, we have these 4 fights right here. We have Juchui, Xuanwu, Baihu, and Qinglong. I'm sorry if I completely butchered those pronunciations. Each fight here will give you most notably the 4 symbol pendants which you need to buy from the shop here, and it will also drop battle badges which will give you a various amount of rewards based on how many badges you own. On one of these beasts here, you will see that they have this blue circle icon. This is to indicate which beast has the cardinal bonus. While it's active, farming raids of that element will drop more pendants, basically making it more efficient to farm the things with the bonus. You can check which quests have the bonus at which times by clicking on this button right here. Note that during strike time, the cardinal bonus will be applied to all quests. Remember that you can change your strike time settings by going to your crew page and scrolling down and clicking the strike time settings button right here. Each time you defeat one of these beasts, this crystal here will begin to shine brighter. Once you defeat 8 beasts, the meter will be full and you gain 1 host of the Extreme Plus Primal Raid, and 1 Shenxian host as well. At this point, the crystal meter will reset, and you will need to do 8 more to get more hosts. Which primal you have access to will also change depending on what cardinal bonus is active at the time. And during strike time, you'll be able to choose which one you want to fight, so you can choose whichever one you need more badges for, or perhaps the one you can kill the easiest. The loot from the primals are very similar to the beasts, but they will drop more pendants. Every day, you will also be able to challenge the Maniac difficulty quests twice. These are solo raids and you can't request backup, but when you do complete it, they will instantly fill up the crystal, and thus giving you 1 Extreme Plus host and 1 Shenxian host as well. Another set of solo fights are these Proud quests here. You will be able to tackle these once you are able to clear their respective Extreme Beast fights in 1 turn. These fights give you a bunch of pendants and also their respective seals. I'll talk more about these items later in the shop section. Once you clear all of the Proud quests, you will be able to take on Proud Plus Huanglong Qilin, which will also drop these additional rewards. Now, ROTB does possess a daily mission, which is quite simply defeat each elemental fight 3 times. While it is nice to do these quests during the cardinal bonus hours, it is much more important that you don't miss out on the free 100 crystals. So, make sure that you don't forget to do the mission just because you're waiting for a cardinal bonus. And finally, we have the Shenxian raid battle. As mentioned previously, you'll get 1 host of this raid every 8 beasts you defeat. You will need to be rank 120 or higher to host this raid, however. Get used to seeing this guy because it will drop many things that you want. Shenxian is also what is known as null or non-elemental, which means that he has no specific elemental weaknesses, so you can bring whatever is your strongest element or team against it. This quest does possess a blue chest, which you can guarantee when you do at least 150,000 honors. If you're going to be joining a bunch of these, I recommend bookmarking the backup page, so this page right here, and then filtering out the quests at the bottom that you don't want to see, and then also toggling this priority tab button. This will make it a little bit easier to farm this particular quest. Alright, next up, let's talk about the shop. So, the first thing to note is that some items in this shop will reset upon ROTB reruns, and the others will not. You can see those details right here on the wiki page in this particular section under the rewards and shop section. In this rightmost column, you'll see that some of these items say resets each event while others will not. Now, out of the items that do reset, the pots and berries are always nice to get. The Eternal Unlock treasure set is also recommended since you'll need a bunch of these mats to recruit your Eternals, and the Jadeites here and the seals are also very, very nice to get, as you'll be needing a bunch of these to uncap various weapons. The seals do get more expensive the more you buy them, so if you are a bit short on time, perhaps just focus on getting the first couple of each seal. These seals in particular are important as you will need a bunch to uncap certain weapons, but also because it will allow you to host Huanglong and Qilin. To buy the host mat, you will need to navigate to the treasure trade section of the shop. Next, head to the treasure section, and then in this drop-down, make sure you select Rise of the Beasts. In this menu here, you will find this Golden Beast seal. The solo raids will require 1 golden seal each to host. You can find that quest in the raid list section under the standard tab, and in this particular menu here, the Dark Sunrise and the Dusk of Nightfall. Once you have hosted and completed this quest, you will then be able to host the impossible difficulty quest, Huanglong and Qilin. In general, it is not worth hosting the solo versions of the raid once you have unlocked this duo version. This is because the key thing you want from these raids is the Huanglong and Qilin anima, and these do not drop from the solo versions. If you are able to, I highly recommend hosting this raid in a co-op train. You will generally be able to find these trains during ROTB from the co-op menu, under raids, under find a room, and under these particular settings right here. If you've never joined a train before, it's essentially a way for people to host and join raids continuously. Everyone basically gives a host to join the room. Do keep in mind that if you leave the room prematurely for whatever reason, you will lose your host. Now, this raid is notorious for having super long animations. For that reason, I highly recommend turning off live battle feed in the battle settings right here. This is to prevent you from getting animation locked. Just don't forget to turn it back on afterwards if you want to see your honors or see stickers. Fortunately, this raid does not have a blue chest, so all you need to do is equip as much item drop rate as possible and one punch the raid. These raids can also drop the Huanglong and Qilin summons. You will only need 1 fully uncapped copy of these, so that's 4 0-star copies of each in total that you will need. If you're missing one, you can buy the last one that you need from the shop right here under treasure trade, under summons, and you will find it right here, Huanglong and Qilin. Also in the shop are the Huanglong and Qilin weapons, which you can find under the weapons section, under events, and under beast weapons right here. Currently, these weapons are not used or are incredibly niche. Make sure to check the advanced grids pages or the notable rewards section in the ROTB page to see if anything has changed. Links in the description below. Okay, let's move on to the shop items that don't reset. First up, the weapons. Now, I will give a brief assessment of these weapons But do keep in mind that anything I say here can easily be outdated with future updates, so please keep in mind that just like the Huanglong Qilin weapons earlier, make sure to check the advanced grids and the ROTB pages as well. Alright, so these weapons right here. These weapons, they suck. Don't worry about them. Alright, next up, these 3 weapons here are useful for farming, but you get them from the battle badges anyways, so there's no need to buy them. This fist here is super niche, and especially if you're a newer player, you definitely won't be needing it anytime soon. The season weapons here are all solid grid pieces for newer and intermediate accounts. Most of them don't see significant use in the end game, however, so do keep that in mind. And then these 4 weapons don't see use in the grid, but you do need to invest into them to acquire the ROTB skins. I'll talk more about those weapons and the soul cores later in the video. Finally, we have the gemstone weapons. All of these are really solid grid pieces, and you will definitely want to get these as you will be able to recruit the SSR ROTB 4 Saints character if you max these weapons out. More on those guys later in the video. Okay, and the last things in the shop, we have the gold nuggets right here and the 4 symbols stones. The gold nuggets can be used to buy gold bricks and perpetuity rings. You can find that menu by scrolling down and clicking this trade for power up button. That will take you to the treasure trade and the power up section where you can see gold bricks, and under power ups and mastery bonus, you can also see that they can give you perpetuity rings. The 4 symbol stones are similar, and they can also be used to buy perpetuity rings, but also you can buy eternity sands with them as well. They can also be used to buy these things on the screen right here. Currently in April 2024, none of these things here are worth it, and it is a big waste of your symbol stones to get these. The Dharma crystals will never ever be worth it for this limited currency, and the summons will only be worth it in the future if they get an uncap or some sort of transcendence. As mentioned earlier, it is a little unrealistic to assume that you'll be able to buy out the entire gold brick stock in the shop in one run of ROTB, so try to prioritize where you want to spend those gold bricks first. It's also really unlikely that you'll need all these gold bricks super early in the game. Now, these 4 symbol stones here can also be used to purchase the ROTB skins, so let's talk about how to get those. But before I get started with that, I do want to mention that getting the skins is quite resource intensive, so it's not something I would suggest to a newer player, so please keep that in mind. Now, for this explanation, I'll be using the fire outfit as an example, but the same process can be applied to the other elemental skins as well. So, step 1. You will need 3 copies of this weapon right here. It will be the fire katana for the fire skin, the water axe for the water, and blah blah blah. You get the idea. Step 2. You will want to 4-star uncap this weapon. Step 3. Navigate to the treasure trade menu and head on over to the power ups section. From here, select skill items and click ciphers. You will need to buy one of each Regis, Pontus, and Malice ciphers. Next, head to the consumables section in your supplies page. Click on the item and then you will be able to use it on the katana of your choice. You will need to do this for all 3 ciphers that you own. Step 5, uncap the weapon to 5 stars and level it up to level 200. You do not need to raise their skill levels. This process will cost soul cores, which drop from Shenxian, and the beast primal raids, but you can also buy all 30 that you need from the ROTB shop as well. Uncapping will also require Jadeite, which you can farm from Shenxian if you should require more. Once you get the weapons to level 200, you will get a trophy. Make sure you pick up the trophy rewards. I can't remember exactly where it went, but the rewards might go to your crate, so make sure to check here to see if the reward went there. Once you've done that for all 3 weapons, head to the treasure trade shop once more. Click quest items, go to event other, scroll over, click outfits, and then you will be able to trade for the outfit along with 4 symbols stones. And once you trade for it right here, the skin is all yours. Congratulations. All right, and finally, let's talk about how to recruit the 4 Saints, the set of farmable characters from Rise of the Beasts. Once again, I will use the first character, Chichiri, as an example. Step 1, you will need to buy the Garnet Broadaxe from the shop. Step 2, uncap the weapon all the way to 5 stars and level it to level 200. For this process, you will need most notably Jadeites, Huanglong Qilin anima, and the feathers. Jadeites you can farm from Shenxian. Huanglong Qilin anima you will need to join the duo raid. There is also a limited amount available in some other locations as well, so make sure to check the wiki for those, link in the description. And finally, the True and God feathers will also drop from Shenxian as well. And you will also need a bunch of these to uncap and upgrade the characters later. Step 3. Get the 130 battle badge reward, the Masterless Yuppei. Step 4. Read the Fate episode and you will recruit the ROTB character. Now, at this point, although you've got the character, you're not fully done just yet. Leveling the wonder you just got will grant a ton of buffs to the respective element, and it will also power up the ROTB character's skills as well. This wonder can be upgraded in 2 different ways. One is literally through time passing. It will roughly gain 1 experience per minute, and you can see how long it will take to reach the next level right here. And to speed it up, you can feed the wonder with more True or God feathers. Once you get it all the way up to level 10, you will unlock additional Fate episodes which will upgrade your character's skills. The wonder will also have benefits to your fire characters like I mentioned earlier, which you can see right here. These bonuses do apply in all content in the game, including Guild War, so it is a really nice bonus to get. Okay, and I think that's about it. I hope I didn't forget anything, and that everything here was clear and concise. Thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you guys left a like and subscribe, and if you have any additional questions, feel free to ask in the comments below or come by the Twitch stream. Once again, thank you so much, and I will catch you guys later. Bye bye.